Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. If you're new, welcome, and if not, welcome back. I don't think I've ever talked about this particular topic before because on Fibro Fridays, as you all know, I've talked about many different things. I think I've mentioned this in passing, but I don't think I've ever dedicated a video to it. I looked through my history, I didn't see one. So I figured it was time to talk about aquatic therapy. So if you're new here, you may not know this, but every Friday I talk about fibromyalgia topics. I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional in any capacity. All of my disclaimers are below. This is all anecdotal. And if there is something scientifically researched and backed, then if there are sources, I put them in the description box for you. I don't think I'll be putting any sources for this, but if I find any along the way that I think might be worth sharing, they'll be in the description box. So, aquatic therapy, I did it for months. I used 2 different facilities. The first one I went to was great, but they were in a space that they were renting, and their landlord was just no good as far as giving them the permission to use their pool regularly. So I started, the pool was up for a while, and then the landlord kept having issues and having to shut down the pool service. But because I needed therapy, I did go to them for a little bit longer without the aquatic therapy, and then I moved back to an aquatic center, but it was a different one. So what is aquatic therapy? Aquatic therapy, you get your body into a warm pool, and you do very gentle exercises in the warm pool. There are 2 reasons for that. One, the water gives very gentle counter pressure to the body. The first thing is the water is warm, so it's not jarring to your system, especially if you're someone who has fibromyalgia where your nervous system can go a little haywire. That's the first thing. The water is not hot enough to make you sweat, but not cold enough to shock you. And then you've got that balancing of your systems with the water where it just gently works against the muscles. You can do exercises in there and it gives you a good workout without you having to use weights. Though you can use weights, you don't have to use weights, but it gives you a good workout. It puts the muscles at ease a bit because of the warmth of the water, and it is a very soothing way to get better stretching, which is what your body usually needs when you're suffering from fibromyalgia. You can feel a little tight sometimes, and it's great for kind of loosening that up. So I did it for months. Here's what I can tell you. Could you do your own aquatic therapy? If you can get access to a heated pool, you could probably do a lot of very gentle exercises with aquatic therapy. Absolutely. But the benefit of using a licensed therapist when doing these exercises is that they can actually measure your progress in a much more unbiased way. Whereas it's hard to kind of measure where you are week by week when you are dealing with pain. It's very hard to accurately assess where you were and where you are now. That difference in time, very hard to kind of keep track of it yourself when you are in the throes of pain and other symptoms. So it's good to have a licensed therapist. However, if you're someone who suffers from chronic pain or you suffer from fibromyalgia specifically, it could be good to find a gym or some other facility that has a warm pool that you can have access to, and to go into that warm pool and try very gentle stretches. You can, look those up online and, try kind of treading the water a little bit, try different stretches, try using different equipment. They're very gentle devices you can take into the water with you that can help you with your movement, all of that kind of stuff. Along with aquatic therapy, it was always paired with some other kind of therapy. So I never just went straight into the water. What I would do is I would get either a massage, or I would do some work in the gym that they had on site at one of the places. So it was never just get into the water and move. But you could absolutely do aquatic therapy without any of that, because I did go to another facility that all I did was get dressed in my swimsuit, get in the water, get out, shower, dress, and leave. I did not do any of the other um, warm up and cool down exercises that are typically done with that kind of therapy, or at least that I had experienced previously. So I liked it. I found it gave me a great night's sleep. It was really, really gentle, where if you're someone who's having issues with your joints, it's a great way to move without gravity working hard against you. And that weightlessness really helps you feel like you can move a little further. And you feel it when you come out, for sure, when you come out of the water and when you get home. You're tired. You feel like you've done a lot, but it's something that can improve your mobility for sure, help you with your pain levels, and it doesn't feel as intimidating as going to perhaps a gym and starting to weight train, which is where one of the facilities kind of steered me toward getting onto some sort of weightlifting program, which I didn't maintain, of course, but just strengthening program. That is the goal. Most of the time when you have fibromyalgia, it's not that you immediately turn to mush. That's not it. But you are hesitant to really exercise because it hurts, first and foremost, to do simple things. But on top of that, being uncomfortable to do simple things, when you are able to do those simple things, even if it doesn't hurt you immediately, it can set you up for a flare that makes it very difficult for you to be productive for the rest of the day or week or whatever. So you don't use the muscles as much because you're always afraid you're going to do too much and trigger a flare, or you're going to do a little and it's going to hurt so bad that you don't have the energy to do anything else because you're recovering. So it will be uncomfortable, at least after you get out of the water's fine. But once you get out and once you dry off and once gravity starts working on you again, it is a bit of a beast. I never had the kind of experience that really felt like I had a hard day at therapy, but did I have some challenges? Absolutely. Absolutely, there were some challenges. And I noticed that some days I got amazing night's rest, and some days I was kind of dead to the world when I would go to sleep. And that was because some days I felt it more intensely than others. And that's very normal to feel it more intensely on some days than on other days. But I liked aquatic therapy. Highly recommend it for anyone who has access to it. It's great for conditioning and strengthening and stretching, all of those things. You may find it challenging to find a good pool. That seems to be the issue, but if you look at therapy places first, many of them do have pools, but if not, consider looking at different gyms, because many gymnasiums or fitness centers have those kind of facilities. They usually have some sort of pool, and heated pool specifically, because not every gym has a heated pool, right? But look for that, and look up some different gentle exercises that you can try while in the water so that you can see some change and some improvement in how you feel, because I noticed I improved, and I did have other things I was doing at the same time, but I did notice the improvement, and I highly recommend it to anyone who has never tried it before. How much time though? Give yourself at least a month before you say, am I really seeing any results? So if you're doing it yourself at home, give yourself a month. If you're working with a therapist, give yourself a month, and try to be as objective as possible when looking back at the beginning of that month. See your progress, because after a few weeks, you can feel something. You don't have to do this for 6 months to feel a difference. So that's it for aquatic therapy. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you need to know about aquatic therapy. Um, it can be a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun because it's water and it's warm, so it's not jarring to your body. And while you may be working out, there's an element of fun to it that makes it easier to get through it. So I actually prefer it over some of the other therapies that can happen. And I'll discuss some of the other therapies I've had as well. This is just one of them. But in the upcoming weeks, I'll discuss some of those other therapies too. So I hope you all are having a great one. I will talk to you all soon. Be safe. Take good care of yourselves. And I'll be back on Monday. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.